Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I thought I would spice things up for you. I'm going to do a get ready with me where I do my makeup and I'll do a fun look. And I figured while I'm doing that I could do a get to know me because most of you don't know who I am. Unless you followed me here from my Instagram, and in that case, I want to say thank you for supporting me over here on my channel. Even if you do follow me on Instagram, I've never done a full-blown get to know me, so this will be really fun. We're gonna dive deep into who I am as much as I possibly can by random questionnaires. So I'm going to get into it and we'll have some fun. So I'm going to use Anastasia DipBrow Pomade in Soft Brown. So the first question is, what is your full name? So this is interesting because my full name is Nicole Mary Catherine Bruno, and I actually do have two names. So yeah, I have two middle names, and every time I tell somebody that, they're like, who are you? Yes, I'm different. I'm not your average. It's what is your channel name and why? So when I picked my channel name, I basically did it off of my Instagram name. And I chose this because it's kind of a blending of my nicknames. So my full name is Nicole, and when I was younger, my family used to call me Coley, and I think I was originally just gonna go by Coley on Instagram, but even every way that I spelt it with like multiple I's in the E and just like adding numbers to the end, which I didn't really want to do. I just wanted it to be like one cohesive name. It was already taken. There's a lot of Nicoles in the world, and a lot of them go by Coley. So I decided to blend my name together, and I went with Nicole X. And the X is just for embellishment and flair because just Nicole was already taken. The next question is, what is your zodiac sign? So I'm a Cancer crab, and I am very, very true to my sign. I go in with NYX Professional Microbrow Pencil, and this is in Chocolat. So Cancers are super emotional, and they are moon children, and I am, even since I was a little kid, obsessed with the moon. Like, my room was like decorated with moons and stars when I was a kid, and I had everything moon and stars for a little while. And I've just always felt really drawn to the moon. I feel like there's like some deeper connection somehow, and I just can't help but look for it and stare at it. And I do this really cute thing where I look at the moon and I wonder who in the world is looking at it at the same time as I am. It's a magnificent and magical thing. So Cancers are really, really emotional, and they're known for having a hard outer shell and a soft core. So that's how I definitely feel like I am. I'm super mushy on the inside, but on the outside, I come off as like really hard and tough and strong. And I think people forget sometimes that I'm super soft on the inside. I'm a little baby. So I'm gonna go in with Benefit Gimme Brow, and this is in number 3. So the next question is, how old are you? I am 27 as of the date of this video, but my birthday is coming up soon, and was born on 7/17, so I will be 28, which is super hard to believe. I really can't even believe that I'm gonna be 28. It feels like I just turned 27, and I'm kind of sad about it. Like, I see 30 creeping up on me. So I'm going in with Infallible Full Wear, and this is in 340. Put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'm gonna carve out my brows. Next question is, what do you do? So I am not working currently. I'm a student. I just transferred from a community college to a university, so I was working when I went to community college, and I was a hairdresser, and I did makeup too, but I kind of mainly did hair. So I decided not to work while I am going to university because I'm 28, I'm almost 28. I'm going back to school a little bit older. So I'm a non-traditional student, and I'm a psych major. I would want to become a psychiatrist, and my ideal dream job would be a forensic psychiatrist. So that's where law and psychiatry or psychology meet, and that's like the job you see on the ID channel all the time, the people they interview. It's super, super interesting. You could do a lot of things with it, but you like study criminal and abnormal behavior, and I am just obsessed with that idea. What is your favorite color? Well, this is not a simple answer. My favorite color is usually pink or green. Don't mind my nails, by the way, because I painted them, but I did a really bad job and they're super ugly, but I guess it's better than nothing. So I loved pink when I was like really young, and then I didn't want to be like other girls anymore. So I like stopped liking pink. And then I started to really love the color green. Like, I had a green room and I decorated it in frogs. This was at my mom's house. My moon room was at my dad's house, so I had 2 rooms. But I had a frog room at my mom's house, and this was when you could buy like all the frog stuff from like Limited 2 back in the day. Remember Limited 2? That was like my jam. So yeah, I had all those frog decorations, and green was just my thing for such a long time. And then when I got to high school, I started to be really girly, I guess, in the 7th grade, I would say. And that's kind of when I started getting into makeup. And I always loved makeup, but this is when I like really started getting into makeup and wanting to play around. And that was just the beginning, and I started going back towards pink, but I still love green. I will always love green, so they're both my favorite colors. If you ask me to pick one, I cannot. I'm going in just with a little Morphe translucent powder on my lip. Next, I'm going to go in with Morphe and Manny Makeup Artist Glam Palette. Okay, so next question is, do you have any pets? Yes, I love pets. I've always had a pet. I live in an apartment for school, so I have my one cat here, and her name is Wesley. She's sleeping. I'll see if I can get her to come out. Come here, Wesley. Wesley is like my BFF. She keeps me from getting lonely. Like during the coronavirus shutdown, I felt extremely lucky that I had a pet, because they just bring so much to your life, and they keep you company, and you're never lonely when you have a pet. So I'm just super, super grateful for her. Okay, next question. What is your favorite food? So I am Italian and Irish, but I really more so go towards Italian food. Like, I love anything with a P. I love pasta, I love pizza, I love potatoes, so that's my Irish. I love like pastries. Basically anything that's a carb is my jam. And I will always, always, always go for that above anything else. But if I had to like pick just like one thing, I would probably go with pizza. I could eat pizza any day, anytime. You will never have to ask me or try to convince me to have pizza. So I'm gonna go in with Zaya. What is your favorite quote? So my favorite quote is from the movie Steel Magnolias. If you've never seen it, it is a must-see movie. And that is, I would rather have 30 minutes of something wonderful than a lifetime of nothing special. And basically it just means that we don't know how much time we have, so use every minute to do what you want and have what you want and get what you want. How tall are you? So I am 5'7". I'm actually 5'6.5", but on my license it says 5'7" because you have to round up. They won't let you put 5'6.5". I don't know why. I'm living a lie kind of, because I'm definitely 5'6.5", not 5'7". So I'm going to go in with Howl. Okay, next question. The first thing you notice in a person. Okay, so the first thing I notice in the person, if we're talking like physical attributes, it's always gonna be the eyes. I feel like your eyes are definitely a window to your soul. But if we're talking like personality wise, the first thing I'm always gonna pay attention to is when you're meeting someone, I want to see if you're paying attention to the other person, because I feel like a lot of times there's people who are like super self-absorbed, and like you'll ask them a question about themselves and they're like you'll be like, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm good, you know, I had a great day at work, thanks. Crickets, 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 because they don't ever ask you anything about you and how you're doing. And to me, that is like, I just hate that. Like, and then they're like, oh, sitting there awkward trying to have a conversation, and you're just like, no, baby, like, you have to pay attention to other people. It's not just all about you. I feel like people are just so self-absorbed these days, and that drives me crazy. Like, I'm a very considerate person. Like, when I'm standing in a line at the grocery store, I'm like caring about the people who are behind me or the people who are in front of me. Like, I don't want to be an inconvenience to other people, and I'm not like just giving a crap about myself. So I kind of vibe more with people who are caring about others. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? So I love this question because I feel like so many people have like a long list of things that they would want to change about themselves. And That is just not me, believe it or not. So I just like am comfortable with myself. I do not want to change one thing. I feel like, you know, we only get one life and one body, and we just need to learn to accept. I'm going in with Aries, by the way. We just need to learn to accept who we are and feel comfortable, because our body is not what makes us. I think that there's so many other things that we could be in this life that are worse than our physical attributes. Like there was this one book that I read. I think it's The Earth, My Butt, and Other Round Things. And it's about this fat girl, and she is in the bathroom and she hears these popular girls, like she's in the stall and she hears these popular girls talking about her, and they were basically saying that if they were as fat as her, that they would kill themselves. And that, to me, just like really stuck out in my mind. This is like a preteen book. I've read this years ago, and that just stuck out in my mind because being fat is not the worst thing that you could be in the world at all. I am fat, and I do not consider it a bad word at all. It is a descriptor. It is like saying I am tall. It is a fact. I am fat. And I know that there's people out there who would do anything to not look like me. But this is just a part of who I am. I think that for people to make your body the most important thing about you, when there's people out there who are mean or angry or evil, like violent people out there, but yet we're only paying attention to the physical and the outside, I think we need to reprioritize ourselves in pretty much every way, because I'm a good person, and a lot of people treat fat people as if they are not good people, or like they're lazy, or like they don't have any ambition, and that is absolutely not true. What is your favorite vacation spot? So a couple years ago, my family and I went to Mexico, and I went back last year with my stepmom for my birthday, and it was just an amazing trip. I honestly had so much fun on this trip. Like, I would go again in a heartbeat. It's beautiful. The people are so nice. I was in Cancun, by the way. The people there are so nice. They literally like know everything about you. They want to be like your best friend. I've stayed in touch with some of the people there, and my family and I talk about it all the time. We always say how we want to go back but we want to see other places. Like, I've been there twice, and then certain members of my family have been there like 4 times. And we just keep on saying how we want to go back because we feel like we have friends there now. So we'll see. I think we're definitely going to go back there again one day. I don't know if that'll be our next trip. Although right now we're not going anywhere because of COVID. So I'm just going to dream about it for the moment. So I'm going in with Sugar, Wingman, Waterproof Microliner, and I'll Be Black. Next question. Your favorite drink or your favorite alcohol drink? So it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I like something light, and on those occasions I really like champagne, or I'm really like loving the White Claws these days. My favorite ones are mango and raspberry. raspberry. So if I just want to like chill and not go hard, that's my go-to. But if I'm really gonna be, you know, throwing down, then my favorite thing is Patron. That's my treat to myself. I'm not like a cheap liquor type of person. Like, I actually bought a bottle of cheaper tequila recently because I wanted to drink and I didn't want to buy an expensive bottle, and I regret it. It wasn't that recently. It was probably like 6 months ago, and it's just been sitting there. And I'll take like a shot every now and again, but I like will not do more than that because it's just so harsh going down. Like, I love how smooth Patron is. And by the way, it's the silver Patron that I like. What are your, or not what, are you single or taken? So I'm going in with Kajal Waterline eyeliner and Intense Black. So I am single and kind of just like living here, not really necessarily ready to mingle. Like, I'm open to dating, but I'm just so busy with school. Like, when school starts back up full time for me, I just don't have time. Like, I have to tell my friends and family, like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I just don't have time for anything but school and studying because I kind of have a heavy load. So I'm like open to finding the right person, but I'm super picky. I was in a long relationship and I was actually married, but I am now divorced because it didn't work out. So I'm not really in a rush to go back into something like that. I just want to make sure that I am with the right person when it does happen. So I'm going to go in with Maybelline Fit Me Creamy Concealer. Actually, I'm going to put a little moisturizer, Kate Somerville Oil Free, on my brush. And I'm going to put the concealer on the back of my hand. And I'm going to mix it with the Loreal Infallible Full Wear. Okay, so who are your favorite YouTubers? So my favorite YouTubers are, I love Harush. She's just like my fave because the tricks that she teaches you, like what I'm doing right now, is something I learned on her channel by mixing the moisturizer in and like mixing more of a creamy concealer with like a full coverage concealer. That's something that she does and I just love it. I'm just kind of using the drugstore version compared to the one she uses. So if you're interested in that, go check out her channel. And I absolutely am obsessed with Bailey Sarian. She is just like a breath of fresh air when it comes to YouTube. I just like can't get enough of her, like in the oddest way. Like, I don't know what it is, like her voice or like the way she talks, or like, is it the makeup a mystery? At first I thought it was like just the makeup a mystery and like that's what I mainly watched, but recently like I went through all of the makeup a mystery that she had on her channel and I couldn't get enough of it. So I wound up like rewatching some of her old videos too, and she's just as entertaining in them. So I know like the world is starting to get on an obsession with her, and she deserves it because she is just fire. Do you have any siblings? So I have a pretty big family. I have an older brother, an older sister, then it's me, so I'm a middle child. Then I have a younger brother and a younger stepbrother. So there's a lot of us. I have a blended family, and I feel really lucky to have a lot of siblings. I just think like siblings, it's just really cool that you can like really depend on somebody, and you just have like instant best friends, and someone you could always connect with, and someone who will always have your back. So I feel really, really fortunate and really blessed to have a big family. Next question is, do you have a collection or do you collect anything? So I'm going in, by the way, with Morphe contour stick in 12. So other than makeup, I collect like crystals. I'm super spiritual, if you can't tell by my tarot YouTube videos. Do you have any bad habits? Going in with L'Oreal Infallible 24 Wear foundation. This is $4.50. Just gonna put it on the back of my hand. So, bad habits. Okay, let's get real here and spill the tea. I am a little messy. They say it's like a sign of intelligence. I'm not like messy all the time. I do clean, like I like things to be clean, but I just like, as I go, I just like get into whatever I'm doing. So I'll like forget to like clean up after myself right away, but I always like go back and do it. So like back when I used to do hair, or even sometimes when I do makeup, like I just like go through and I'm a tornado, and in the middle of the process I look like a total mess, but after the process I always make sure to clean up and have a fresh new station. And especially if you're a professional of any kind, it's really important that you make sure you do that, because clients don't want to see that your station is a mess, because they're going to judge you. Going in with the Morphe. So yeah, that's like my biggest bad habit. I'm trying to think. I feel like I definitely have others. I know I have others, but I'm just honestly like drawing a blank right now as to what they are. Sometimes I cut people off when I'm talking. I try not to do this because I don't like when it's done to me either, but sometimes I just get like so passionate about what we're talking about that I just like feel a deep-seated need to speak. But again, going back to like what I said about being considerate, I really try not to do that, because I just don't think it's cool, man. It's not cool. Don't cut people off. I hate when it's done to me. I don't know why I do it to other people. So, are you a morning person or a night owl? I am definitely a night owl, and I think that stems back to me being a Cancer crab, because going in with Posie Tint, as a Cancer, you are a moon child, and I just feel like I'm really, really attached to that. Like, I am a huge moon child. Like, I'm up at night, and what's kind of crazy is I feel most creative at night. Like, right now I am filming this and it is, I don't know, like 2 in the morning. That's just when I get all my ideas and I get the most energy. Night rolls around, I'm wide awake, I have all this energy, I'm super motivated. I do this a lot with cleaning, like on a day where I say I'm gonna clean, going in with Hoola Caramel. Like, I'll say, oh, I want to clean today. I really want like everything to feel good. I want to do my sheets. I just really want to have like a nice chill day of cleaning, listening to music. And I'll like wake up early, say I'm gonna do it, and then I wake up early and I just want to sit there. I have a cup of coffee, I just want to sit there. Nighttime rolls around, I'm like, ooh, okay, now's a great time to clean. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's normal. If that happens to you, please let me know down below that you also get all your energy at night. If you're a Cancer and that happens to you, especially tell me that that's what happens, because I don't know if I have an issue or what. Do you have any medical conditions, and if so, what are they? I do have a medical condition, and it is called PCOS. And with PCOS, it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's actually like a really debilitating silent disorder. And what it does is it affects your hormones in your body. So like the carbs that I said I love, like when I eat carbs, my body like stores them instead of processes them for energy. It just stores the carbs. And so some of the symptoms are like weight gain, hair loss, hirsutism, which is hair growth in areas that you don't want hair to grow, but you lose hair on your head, which is just like the worst evil like oxymoron that your body, and like bad joke that your body could play on you. And there's just so many other things like mood swings. There's infertility issues that can come from PCOS. So it's just a struggle, and I definitely feel the mood swings aspects from it too. It's one of those things that just affects your everyday life, and there's no treatment for it, and there's some treatments for it, but they're questionable, and you have to kind of figure out what works for you, and there's no cure at all. So it's a lifelong thing, and they say like weight loss helps with it, or that's what like a doctor will tell you, but your body makes it super hard to lose weight when you have PCOS, and you actually tend to gain weight faster. So it's again another oxymoron. So I personally have just learned to like accept and live with it, and again that stems back to feeling comfortable in my body. I'm going in with Ofra Cosmetics in the Madison Miller blush palette set highlight thing. So I just feel like despite this disorder, I have like a piece of skin on my nose. There we go. Despite this disorder, I feel like I just have to live my life. I'm not gonna let it bother me, and even though I go through these things silently, I know I get through it. I still enjoy my life, and I still have a happy life, but sometimes there's bad days and sometimes there's good. I'm gonna go in with Marc Jacobs highlighter, and this is in Spotlight, and what I like to do is just put that on the nose like so. Going back in with the Hoola. So the next question is, what is the biggest struggle that you have overcame? So for me, my biggest struggle that I have overcome was learning to feel confident in my body. I was an overweight child. I was always chubby, and I've had like people say things to me about it as a child. Like when I was a kid, I had a neighbor, and I think I was like 8 years old, and he was moving away. He was an older man, and he was always nice up until that point. But he was moving away, and my dad was like, let's go over to the neighbor's house and say goodbye, you know? And so we did, and I went over to say goodbye, and I always liked his dog. I forget her name, but she was like a cute little poodle. So we were sad that he was leaving, and I went to say goodbye, and I was like, my dad was nearby, but he was like just talking to me by myself. Like my dad was like doing something, like watering the lawn or something like that. And he said to me, like, you would be so much prettier if you lost weight. And that is something that just stuck with me. Even now, like, I still remember it, and it's been 20 years. So I think that for me, like, learning to accept my body the way that it is, and learning to love my body the way that it is, has always been a struggle. Going in with Ofra highlighter and Star Island. Ignore how dirty it is in the back. I tried to clean it. And like I felt pretty good in high school, but I always kind of had like that tough person exterior back then too. So I think when I really started to feel confident was in my later years. And I did that because I was overcoming an eating disorder. Like the only time I was ever skinny in my life was when I starved myself. Like I stopped eating. I would maybe eat one meal a day, and I got really, really skinny. And that then turned into bulimia, and I started throwing up my food, and I was just really sick. And then once I stopped doing that, I got better. I just gained like a ton of weight, and significant. Like it was the biggest I ever was in my life, and I still am actually. But one of the things that really helped get me through all of that was the body positive community on Instagram. Like I started following Tess Holiday and F Your Beauty Standards, and for me that was just life-changing. Like I saw people who were role models, like people who looked like me. I saw a representation of my body living their life and not caring about what other people did or said, and it gave me the confidence to be able to do that for myself. So for me, that was just life-changing. Like I can't even begin to tell you how much of an impact that had on my life, because before then, like I was always self-conscious of my body. I always compared myself to other people, and after I was able to, I wear bikinis at the pool. Like I don't care what other people say, and I take pictures of myself and feel confident in whatever I wear. I wear clothes that are skin tight, that may not be flattering, because I wear what I want to wear. I feel confident. I don't care if people say it's promoting obesity or that I'm unhealthy or that I shouldn't be doing that. And I know that, like, in the back of my mind, I know that people have these thoughts when I live my everyday life, and that is the problem. But that's their problem. I can't let my fat body hold me back, And like I said earlier, being fat is not the worst thing in the world that someone can be. So once I learned and accepted all of these things, I was just able to feel confident with myself, and I've been the happiest that I've ever been. Once you kind of learn to stop, like the number one thing, once you learn to stop caring what other people think, like you literally make that the least thing on your priority list, your life will change. I definitely think that we should all be more accepting of other people's differences, and I think that people should learn how to feel comfortable in their own bodies. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay, I'm gonna put my lashes on off camera and come back. Okay, I'm happy I did that off camera because they were giving me a hard time today. I'm going in with Thrive Cosmetics for my mascara. So the last question on my list is, if you could have dinner with someone alive or dead, somebody famous, who would it be? So I hands down would want to have dinner with John Lennon. I just always, like, my number one reason would be, I wonder what he would think, like, of the world right now and what his input would be, and also like how different the world would be if he was still here, because he just had such an impact. Like, his songs just had such an impact on the world and what people thought, and he just spread such a positive message for inclusion and change and peace. And you know, in some ways I think I know some of the things that he would say, because a lot of the issues that he talked about then are still happening now. So in some ways, you know, we know what he would say, but in other things, I would want to know, like, what his opinions are, because things are still the same as they were then, and I would want to know, like, what kind of impact his message would have now if he were still around. It's tough because, like, I would want to have like dinner with Paul McCartney too, but sorry, I'm using Coco K by Kylie for liner and lipstick. So yeah, I just think overall I would go with John, because he's just not around anymore. And you never know, like, I still could have dinner with Paul. I always forget how much I love this color. It's just such like a baby pink. Feeling it. So there we have it. This is my everyday look, basically. Nothing too crazy, but definitely glam and definitely fun. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about myself. I really appreciate it, and I hope that I didn't bore you to death and that you learned something interesting about me today. If you like watching me do my makeup or talk about myself, or if you're interested in spirituality and tarot cards, because I definitely like to talk about those things too, please, please, please like and subscribe below. I greatly appreciate it, especially since I am a new channel. All the products that I use today will be in the description box, and I hope, ooh, sorry, I'm touching things because I'm nervous. I just really want you guys to like me. So I hope that you guys had fun with me today and enjoyed watching me do this look, because I certainly did. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye. Love you.